Ladies and gentlemen, since it's already 3:28, just 2 minutes before the ringing of the closing bell, I'd like to request all our dignitaries to please proceed towards the gong. And I request everyone in the audience to please take their seats so that our photographers can get an unrestricted view of the ringing of the closing bell. Congratulations on this milestone. It's been such a successful IPO and listing. I know we're all very excited, but I request everyone to please take their seats. Please join me in the countdown when we get to 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations. That was the closing bell on the first day of trade for BSE Limited since becoming a listed entity. Hooray! 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 Now request Shri Sudhakar Rao and Shri Ashish Kumar Chauhan to please lead our distinguished guests to light the auspicious lamp. I request all our dignitaries to please join in the lighting of the traditional lamp. इतना बड़ा केक है. It is now my pleasure to invite to the dais our esteemed dignitaries and welcome them with bouquets of flowers. Shri Sudhakar Rao, Chairman, BSE. Shri Dhirendra Swaroop, Director, BSE. Shri S. Ramadurai, Ex-Chairman, BSE. Shri S. Ravi, Director, BSE. Ms. Rajshri Sabnavis, Director, BSE. Ms. Usha Sangwan, Director, BSE. Shri Kisanbhai R. Choksi. Shri Ramesh Damani, Broker, BSE. Shri Bhanubhai Fozdar. Shri Uttam Bagri, Chairman, BBF. Shri Dharmesh Mehta, MD and CEO, Axis Capital. Shri Siddharth Shah, Past Chairman, BBF. Shri Alok Churiwala, Past Vice Chairman, BBF. And Shri Ashish Kumar Chauhan, MD and CEO, BSE. Let me now invite Shri Sudhakar Rao, Chairman, BSE Limited, to give the welcome remarks. Shri Sudhakar Rao.
A very good afternoon to all of you. Mr. Ram Durai, my colleagues of the board and friends on the dais, on the stage, and ladies and gentlemen and friends from the finance community. This is the second time, of course, I'm addressing many of you today. I think I see a large number of familiar faces. So some of you may end up hearing the same comments again, but the mood is very clearly different. In the morning when I spoke, there was still some tension. We are all expecting a good opening. And of course, the market grapevine had predicted that it will open on a very positive note. But what actually happened, of course, was a very, very happy result. So I think some of the concerns, some of the tensions which were there in the morning when I spoke are not there. And the second point of relief is that with great relief I saw Mr. Ramadurai come in, having handled the initial part of the process of listing, the more difficult part. I thought if there are any questions, he'll be now able to answer because I handled the easier part of the whole process. Once again, on behalf of the board of BSE, the management, let me welcome you all to this closing ceremony, in a sense, a celebratory ceremony. And like all of you, I'll also like to begin with congratulating Ashish and his team for a great job done. You know, we are all obsessed with this thing called lists. I think it was Irving Wallace, perhaps, he actually brought out a book of lists, all kinds of lists, best 10 pictures, best favorite 10 animals of such and such actor, and so on and so forth. When I was in the government, it would be, am I in the list of transfers? Have I made it to the promotions? Your children, you wonder, is he on the list of selected candidates? So these questions you keep asking, am I on this list or that list? But the new question that I used to hear in the last couple of years was, hum kab list ho rahe hain? Hum kab list ho rahe hain? So I'm glad that question has come to an end at least. So that question has been firmly and finally settled, and on a very happy note. And so once again, I think it's not just the BSE board, but the entire finance community, the bankers, the investors, the brokers, the shareholders, and so on and so forth. And as Ashish very rightly put it, it's the brand that I think got it the kind of response it did. After all, over its 140 years, the BSE has seen how the Indian economy has grown. It has been a part and parcel of the entire economic history of this country, and in a sense, symbolizes, sort of represents the Indian economy. I mean, people keep talking about this building being an iconic building and BSE being an iconic institutions, because one of the main reasons being that we are 141 years old. We have survived all kinds of vicissitudes and pressures of time, of policies, of world economic conditions over the years, and have survived and come to this stage. And I think that itself was a great earner of goodwill for the organization. But that is not to say that all of you who are present in the audience did not have a major role to play. And on behalf of both the board and the management, I thank you all for your great support and encouragement through the days that we were getting ready for the listing. Thank you. It's also a good beginning to the new year, I think. As was pointed out earlier in the morning, this is the first IPO of calendar year 2017, the first IPO, or listing, sorry, of after the demonetization, and the first listing after the recent budget. The fact that it has done so on such a positive note, hopefully, is also reflective of the kind of confidence that the Indian economy today generates among those who are in the world of investing. And after all, markets are really an aggregation of the sentiments of the individual players. So obviously, there is a very positive note out there in the future of the Indian economy, in the future of the Indian markets. And that has been reflected today in the manner in which our IPO listed. I really don't think I need to mention about various facts and figures, what happened of 141 years. Having been part of this BSE family, you're all familiar with the history of BSE, so I'm really going to skip all those things. But one point that one needs to make, of course, is the fact that ours is, equity plays a very limited role, or at least relatively a limited role in the Indian investment scene, just about 5% compared to, I think, about 14 of China and about 20 in Brazil and possibly 40 to 45 in the US. So obviously, we need to develop our capital markets. We need to ensure that equity investment becomes something that an ordinary investor, not just a specialized investor, but an ordinary investor, an ordinary saver, sees it as an area of potential for putting his or her money. And for that, I guess it's also very important that the institution, that we as, in a sense, both now a listed company and a regulator, infuse confidence, trust, and faith among all those who come to us as customers, clients, and stakeholders. As a result, this listing, this enormous increase in the size of our shareholders imposes a special responsibility on us to ensure that the faith, that the expectations that you have of BSE and its management is sort of comes to a positive fruition. And on behalf of the board, I can give you only, right now I can give you the assurance that we will ensure that the BSE does its best, not only in terms of getting the bottom line as attractive as possible, but also ensuring that this is done by following the highest traditions of a public office or a public institution or a public financial infrastructure. So I thank you all for being with us on this very happy and auspicious occasion. I will, on behalf of the board and the management, continue to solicit your support and encouragement as we move along and begin on a new chapter as a listed company. Thank you very much and all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I would now like to invite Shri S. Ramadurai, ex-chairman BSE, to address the gathering.
Good afternoon, everyone, and congratulations to all of you who have made this historic moment possible. I think the board of directors, ably led by Chairman Sudhakar Rao, CEO and Managing Director Ashish Chavan, and the entire leadership team have worked really hard to see this glorious moment in the history of this country. Personally, I am used to only 2 IPOs. One, this one, which happened today in the morning, where an exchange is getting listed. And the other one was in 2004, when TCS came out of Tata Sons and then it got listed in BSE and NSE. I think the whole movement with regard to listing an exchange, and that too, BSE being the first one, is again something to be remembered, because all of you wanted this to happen. The management, the board was extremely supportive of this. The regulators took their time but made this possible. And we are also very, very comfortable with the journey, because at the end of the day, as the chairman very correctly mentioned, we have to bring in the highest form of governance, and any disclosures which we make must stand to any scrutiny. With that in mind, strengthening all the processes, strengthening the system, strengthening the compliance, and in the eyes of the investors, that's what matters at the end of the day. They believe and they put their trust in this institution, and we, at all times, must deliver and make the people behind it accountable for every single disclosure they make. I'm sure with the leadership that has been put in place, the leadership that continues to function, the leadership that has put the process systems and the technology which has been put in this institution, it will go to greater heights. The pricing has been excellent, which gives an upside for the investors, which we saw at the beginning as well as at the closing at the end of the day. I think you are all going to make this institution a most successful one. All the very best to all of you. Thank you so much, Ashish and team, for making this thing possible. All the very best.
Thank you, sir. Next, I'd like to invite Shri Dhirendra Swarup, Director BSE, to share his thoughts with us.
Good afternoon, everyone. Chairman BSE, Mr. Sudhakar Rao, former Chairman, Mr. Ramadurai, and Mr. Ashish Chauhan, the CEO, my colleagues on the dais, and distinguished gathering. I would not like to add to your boredom by repeating of what all has been said this morning and by my colleagues, senior colleagues before me. I agreed to speak as it gives me an opportunity to personally congratulate and say a big thank you to Ashish and his team of highly committed, talented, and focused officers who made the IPO a grand success and today's listing absolutely spectacular. My contribution, and perhaps of some of my colleagues in the board, was only to sign documents required by the lawyers, by the merchant bankers, by the regulatory bodies. And as Mr. Ravi mentioned in the morning, and also to give certain certificates like my birth certificate, for instance, the school leaving certificate, the graduation certificate, the post-graduation certificate. Fortunately for all of us, they did not ask our marriage certificate. Had they asked for the marriage certificate, the IPO would not have gone through because most of us don't have our marriage certificates. I feel privileged to be a board member at a time of this historic moment. I really feel privileged. I'm very sincere about what I'm mentioning now. The IPO would not have been a success without the cooperation and unstinted support of all the brokers who are present here today and others who are not. And let me tell you very genuinely that BSE is today because of the brokers and the investors. And my thanks, of course, to the selling shareholders, without whom the IPO would not have been a success at all, and of course, the buying shareholders now. Finally, how could the listing be such an amazing success without the confidence what has been shown by the new investors joining the BSE family today? You have the board's solemn assurance that we will together take the BSE to much greater heights than it reached today. Had the new American president been here today, he would have said, in a scale of 1 to 10, I give BSE a 12. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, I'd like to call upon Shri S. Ravi, Director BSE, to share his thoughts with us.
Good afternoon to all of you. Mr. Chairman of BSE, Mr. Sudhakar Rao, Ramudurai Saab, Mr. Dhirendra Swarup, and all present on the dais. In fact, it's a privilege to be standing here on a very historic day. And in fact, I feel blessed because I saw the journey. I joined in the month of March last year, and the journey in the last 11 months has been so exciting. And you know, the pricing to the documentation to everything that we did in the last 11 months and the whole focus of the whole board, and there was a lot of pressures in the sense of how to execute this. Will this happen? Will this not happen? These were the type of challenges which were, you know, going through all of us. But I must compliment the entire team of BSE, led by Ashish and Nehal and of course Nayan and Gopal, everybody, each one, even Neeraj, etc. I'm sorry if I have missed a name, but it was a great effort from all of them. They had a very, very deep connect, a deep sense of commitment through the merchant bankers, through the legal solicitors, etc. But I would just, everybody has said many things and I don't want to repeat anything about BSE. But I would just like to tell you about one incident that happened, and which shows the commitment of Ashish and his team. I got a call from Prajakta stating that somebody will come and they will get some documents signed. That was in December. The gentleman who came to me, I asked him, he was young, 24, I just forget his name, I wish I had known his name, it will be in my records, But he came, he said, I have just gone through to Mr. Swarup's place. He has just arrived from Bangalore in the morning, and that too in December. And then he was to go to Justice Sen's place, and then he was going to take a 2 o'clock flight. 2 o'clock because he has to give the documents before 10 o'clock in the morning. And believe it, in a winter day where I was well jacketed, I told him he had come with one plain shirt, and it was freezing cold. And I asked him, how are you doing this? He said, because I got instructions, I have done this. And I offered him a cup of tea, but he was so, sort of, there is the gentleman. That is the spirit of BSE. That is the spirit of BSE. Please give him a big hand. These are not people like me who are standing on the stage, but these are silent and very, very dedicated people who are behind the success of BSE. So, thank you all for the support. It has been an exciting journey. As Swarup Saab correctly mentioned, we have a long way to go. We will be watched for our governance. We will have to, take this institution forward, and we'll require the support of one and all. Thank you so much for being here. Happy to see smiling faces across. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. I'd now like to invite Shri Dharmesh Mehta, MD and CEO, Axis Capital, to share his thoughts with us.
The only thing I'm doing today is talking about BSE. So I will just keep it short and sweet. I think so all of us who are in this hall actually owe all our careers and our life to BSE. So majority of us started our life earning money because of BSE. So we owed it to them to ensure that the IPO is a huge success. We ensure that we get the best of the investors, as you must have seen in the anchor book, and going forward, you hear the names of people who have bought. I know them very well. They're best in the world. So it again gives that kind of confidence. The best of the investors in the world are confident about BSE and its growth story. And I congratulate Ashish and the entire BSE team, the board, for this historic occasion and giving us a great, great opportunity to lead this IPO. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Let me now invite Shri Kishan Bhai R. Choksi to address the gathering. Shri Kishan Bhai R. Choksi.
Dignitaries sitting on the dais and broker friends. As the member of the Bombay Stock Exchange, I am very proud to see the splendid performance of the BSE IPO. My hearty congratulations to our Executive Director, entire board members, and his particularly Shri Ashish Chauhan and his team for the excellent performance. I hope and pray that under the able leadership of our Executive Director, BSE will achieve greater heights in time to come. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, I call upon Shri Ramesh Damani, broker BSE, to share a few words.
Thank you. India became a republic on January 26, 1950. I, of course, wasn't born yet. But if you go back and see the pictures of Parliament on those days, you can sense the excitement and the jubilation in the eyes of the parliamentarians. Ladies and gentlemen, I sense a similar excitement and jubilation among us today. I've been to the ring so many times. I've rarely seen such excitement, electricity, a full house. And the only message I want to give is that the BSE is 140 years old. We are going to go out and compete and get market share and make ourselves the premier stock exchange of this country once again. And we're going to service the community for the next 140 years. So congratulations to you all. Congratulations, Mr. Chauhan. Congratulations to the board. And thank you for your stewardship. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Now I'd like to invite Shri Praveen Vakil, broker BSE, to share his thoughts with us. Shri Praveen Vakil.
બધાને નમસ્તે. આજના આ શુભ દિવસે આપણે જે ભેગા થયા છીએ એનો યશ આપણા અત્યારના બોર્ડના મેમ્બરો, આપણા આશીષ ચૌહાણ સાહેબ, આપણા ચેરમેન સાહેબ, આપણા બધા મેમ્બરોના બધાના ભેગા થયાના જે આ કર્યું છે અને આ બે સેઠિયાઓના આશીર્વાદથી આપણે આજે આ સારા દિવસ જોઈ શક્યા છીએ, જેને માટે આપણે અભિમાન લેવા જેવું છે. બસ આપણે 140 વર્ષ પૂરા કર્યા છીએ અને હવે બીજા ઘણા પૂરા કરશું એમાં કોઈ શક નથી. એને માટે હું આપ સાહેબોને વિનંતી કરીશ.
Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to invite Shri Banubhai Fosdar to share a few words with the gathering.
Respected and honorable members of the governing board and my friends, good morning to you all. I say good morning because in our language we say Gujarati that Jagya Tyarthi Sawar. Today, the BSE is reborn after 160 years. So, this is our first anniversary that we are here together. So, at this moment, I would like to specially give my tribute to Sri KRP Shroff, who is on the photograph that you see on the right, and Sri Jiji Bhai, the photograph that you see on my right. These are the two pillars who made it vision to create this whole building, and especially this whole hall, where you are sitting. Last but not the least, Sri Ashish Bhai Chauhan, he has done his best of the best job, and not done, but he has quickly enacted upon what was required by the authorities. For example, the last fact, that there was a hurdle that your shares is one share, lot of one share. It should be two. And within a short period, he immediately converted two shares instead of one. So that was the reason why we are today having listed. So sir, I hope that under your leadership, my BSE will definitely progress and will again go for more and more years to go. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I'd now like to call upon Shri Uttam Bagri, Chairman BBF, to share his thoughts with us.
Dear friends of BSE, happy to see you all here, always. Bhav Bhagwan hai, right? Those who did not buy BSE, सब रो रहे हैं, shit ले लिया होता. जिसने शेयर ऑफर किया, shit क्यों ऑफर किया यार? जिसका IPO में लग गया, he is happy. The valuation given by the market is never on the past. It's always to the future. At 400 or equivalent, the market cap we were expecting is 4,500 crores. Today the market cap is 6,000 crores. This faith in the market is only because the market has faith and belief in the future of BSE. And for that, I really thank the current management and the board of directors of BSE. So, because this was an exchange run by brokers, over a period of time, the entire management shifted to a professional management, a professional board. And at least 1500 crore ka market cap, if not more, is just because you are associated with BSE. And thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Next, Shri Siddharth Shah, past chairman BBF, will share a few words with us.
Good evening, friends. It's a very emotional day and a mixed feeling which I am carrying. As a selling shareholder, lage che lutai gaya. And as an existing shareholder, I think again my net worth has gone up. And whenever such a difference is there, listing at 806 and closing at 1100, you try to find out and try to say that where we have gone wrong, and you want to find a blame. And usually, I looked upon to Dharmesh is sitting here, but he's very smart. Whenever he wants, he acts as a merchant banker. And whenever I said, "Arey pricing, he says, I'm a selling shareholder." Yeah, am I right, Dharmesh bhai? Anyway, as Uttam said, Bhav Bhagwan che. So we will go along with this. On this occasion, big thank you to Mr. Ramodarai. Sir, you have witnessed since 2005-06 what kind of effort we have put in to list the shares. My big thank you to Mr. Sudhakar Rao, the entire board, Mr. Ashish Chauhan, his entire team, the staff member of BSE, and lastly, my fellow members who has put a lot of faith, I personally can say, in me, and to be a part of this IPO process. Thank you very much for that. One or two things, because this is in discussion. So the announcement in the budget, which has spoken of taking away long-term capital gain from the existing shareholder. Right? I think the cutoff date is 2004, but this is clearly maintained in the income tax that for us, the date of acquiring is the day on which we corporatize our membership, which goes to 1997. So by default, we all are covered. Nevertheless, BSE Broker Forum is going to represent to the ministry to make it very amply clarified in black and white. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Next, Shri Alok Churiwala, past Vice Chairman BBF, will share a few words.
Good evening, friends. Today we are gathered here on a very momentous occasion in the epicenter of greed and fear, in the playground of bears and bulls, in the presence of our founding fathers and the seniors who have shaped the exchange as it is today, partly because of which we've got the kind of valuation, partly because of which we enjoy the branding and the goodwill. Friends, I won't take too long. Everything has been said. Siddharth said it's an emotional moment. I completely agree with him there. I need to remind everybody about the tradition, trust, transparency, and technology that BSE has stood for, continues to stand, and shall endeavor to move for in the future. With this, I will just urge you to pause for a moment and savor the moment of the day right now, because it is a great time. Perhaps such a moment will not occur in our lives again. But while doing that, please look into your heart and see how we can make BSE great again. With these words, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And now, the significance of this truly historic moment, I'd like to invite Shri Sudhakar Rao along with Shri Ashish Kumar Chauhan to present mementos to our esteemed dignitaries. Shri S. Ramadurai. Shri Dhirendra Swaroop. Shri S. Ravi. Shri Dharmesh Mehta. Shri K.R. Choksi. Shri B.K. Mohta. Shri Praveen Vakil. Shri Ramesh Damani. Shri Bhanubhai Fauzdar. Shri Uttam Bagri. Shri Siddharth Shah. Shri Alok Chhariwala. Thank you all. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Shri Ashish Kumar Chauhan, MD and CEO, BSE Limited, will propose the vote of thanks. Shri Ashish Kumar Chauhan.
Shri Sudhakar Rao, Chairman BSE, Shri S. Ramdurai, past Chairman BSE, members on the board, past presidents, past vice presidents in the audience on the stage, and also the current and past chairman of Broker Forum and other distinguished guests, friends. Basically, this has been a team effort getting BSE from nowhere to where we have come, what I call a Lagan moment, that we had nobody and we have come this far. I think basically it's a victory of belief that all of us started believing at some stage that we can win this match, and that is where we have come. But I think there are few players who have played a greater role in this. I think Nayan Mehta and his team need huge applause for whatever they have done. I mean, it has been a very whirlwind last year where we have just badgered him with all sorts of demands. On top of that, he has to come out with all the results and do accounting and finance and everything properly. And kudos to him and his team, Sandhya and everyone else. Similarly, Nehal Vora, I think last 2 days he's running temperature and still he is running around. And similarly, Prajakta and the other people in Nehal's team, we have again asked a huge toll on them personally because they have to, Nehal has to also run regulatory team in addition to running all the sort of coordination for IPO. Neeraj has doubled up for me whenever we have to go for the IPO. Bala practically on he and Kirsi put together, created a new full exchange in Gandhinagar Gift City. So effectively, it's a great team, it's a great belief, and I am sure there are many more hundreds of years to go for BSE, and somewhere on the line, we will have to continue to believe in ourselves, that even when brokers don't believe, we believe. So if Bombay brokers don't believe, we will make Delhi brokers believe. And if Delhi brokers don't believe, we'll make New York brokers believe in BSE. So that's what. And we'll give the best service at the lowest cost, the fastest technology, and the most investor-friendly regime ever India has seen. So thank you very much for all of you, because all of you have played a part. And for me, it is always that Lagan team, which is basically not afraid of taking challenges, afraid of taking risks, is what ends up winning, rather than the people with experience, people with sort of lack of conviction, but a lot of expertise. We are people without expertise, but with a lot of conviction, and that is what will finally take us where we want to be. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And now I'd like to request all our dignitaries, after the photograph,
मुझे सिर्फ 2 शब्द कहने का है, और जो कहने का दिमाग से नहीं दिल से कहने का है। एक बड़ी बिल्डिंग जीजी भाई ने बनाई, 4 चांद लग गया। एक बड़ी बिल्डिंग के ऊपर सोना का सिंहासन चौहान साहब ने रखा। मैं दिल से उनकी सब ब्रोकर और से और सबके ओर से प्रशंसा करता हूं, और विजय तिलक करने के लिए प्रवीण भाई को आमंत्रित करता हूं। विजय तिलक। श्रीमस्तु सर्वजगत परहित निरता भवतु भूतगणा दोषां प्रयन्तु नाशं सर्वतः सुखी भवन्तु लोका यशस्वी भव यशस्वी भव यशस्वी भव।
And now I'd like to request all our dignitaries to please together proceed to cut the cake below, and I request everyone else to also join in. Thank you for being here to celebrate this truly remarkable and historic occasion. Let's give everybody and ourselves a big round of applause, and I hope that everybody...
Yes.
How Ben? Photo import चाहिए, import ना दूँ।
How? How are you? Yes. Please come. Please come. Rajiv, come. Come. Vikas sir. Yes. Yeah. Vikas sir, please come. Yes, sir. Yes, Abaju. Yeah. Yes, sir.
चेयरमैन ने खड़ा
Majid bhai. Yeah. Majid bhai. Yeah.
मालूम है तो बीच में डालना पड़ेगा हाँ वही
हो गया क्या हाँ ले
प्लीज कम करेक्ट कम
उधर है ना
उठाओ क्या अभी हाँ इधर टेबल है
लास्ट टाइम सिंस ओपनिंग फाइनली आज इच्छा पूर्ति हुई हाँ इट्स मेरे तो ड्यूटी पे तो बंदा अपने किने के कर हाँ